Labas vakaras visiems susirinkusiems tokį dar šiltą, bet rudenišką vakarą į mūsų webinarą. Mūsų šio webinaro viešnia jau ne pirmą kartą yra Sidikova. Ir šį vakarą mes turėsime labai svarbią temą. Turbūt jinai yra svarbi ir viena svarbiausių temų kiekvienam žmogui. Tai yra pinigai. Kai kurie žmonės mėgsta neigti, kad ne piniguose laimė, kad pinigai nepadeda mums gyventi, bet iš tikrųjų turbūt daugelis sutiksi su tuom, kad žmonės, kurie turi daug pinigų, kurie gali uždirbti, jie gali padėti daugiau ir kitiems ir gali patys turėti laisvę būti tuom, kam nori būti. Sidikovos visa istorija irgi prasidėjo būtent nuo šio seminaro, kurį mes organizuojame Lietuvoje, milijonieriaus mąstymas, ir šiandien mes pakvietėm, kad ji pasidalintų keletą technikų, kurios jį sužinojo tame seminare, ko jinai ten išmoko ir pritaikė gyvenime. Ir būtent, kad jinai nuoširdžiai pasidalintų tą istoriją, kaip jos gyvenimą pakeitė seminaras milijonieriaus mąstymas. Taigi kviečiu jūs šiltai su klausimais, jūs klausimus galite rašyti čiate, galite rašyti žemiau Facebook formoje, kiek spėsime, aš webinaro pabaigoje juos perduosiu. Ir kiek spės galėsim atsakyti, o dabar kviečiu valandėlę praleisti su Sidikova. Ну так, как, вы готовы?
Yes, I am ready to get started. Okay. Thank you, Donatas. Good evening, Lithuania. I would like to say big hello and thank you from London. Thank you for coming to listen to this webinar, and thank you to Donatas who organized this webinar for you. First of all, I'd like to say a few words about me so you know who I am and why I am doing this for you today. I represent a company called Success Resources, and we are the leading seminar organizer in the world today. So we bring all the world-class speakers like Donald Trump, Richard Branson, T. Harv Eker, Tony Robbins, and many other speakers to share their message, to share their knowledge with people, and help people to progress and move in life fast. I am the business development, and I am the head of sales, so I help all our partners all over Europe to organize different workshops and events and bring people from all over Europe to London events as well. And the great news you probably all already know is that the Millionaire Mind Intensive Seminar is going to be in Vilnius, which is absolutely fantastic news, and Donatas was thinking about it for quite some time because it's a very big project to take on. And I was pushing Donatas a lot. I said, Donatas, let's make it happen, because we wouldn't probably take this seminar to Baltic countries. But Donatas just made it happen, which is great. And therefore, all of you got an opportunity now to actually go and attend the seminar. But I would like to tell you talk a little bit about today on money, our relationship with money, and how does that affect our financial future. So my story as well started way back then, several years ago, when I was just doing all these different jobs. I came to London about almost 10 years ago now, and I was doing different kind of jobs. Couldn't speak any English, and applied all these CVs, 2,000 CVs. I received a no. Found myself being a dishwasher, in a cheap cafe in Turkish cheap cafe on the rough area of London. So doing all these jobs, working hard, and always being broke. So the main problem was I never had any money. So whatever little money I would get, I would always spend it, and I would always be left without a penny. So to to cut my story short, because it is quite a long story, and I do tell this story a lot on workshops that I do, but to cut it short is that it happened that one day I saw an advert on a Groupon, the voucher sales, online sales, and it says, National Achievers Congress. So to me, having all these big ambitions and this big desire to succeed and become someone, someone that I could be proud of in life, that I immediately, got this cheap ticket and probably a very crap seat at the back. And I came to this National Achievers Congress. It was a big room with many speakers, multiple speakers talking on stage, about 8,000 people sitting in the venue. So I'm seeing all these speakers standing on stage and talking how to succeed and create wealth on properties, on doing traditional business, doing online business, doing internet marketing, all these different kinds of ways to create money, to create wealth. And I remember sitting there, and I was thinking, wow, I can be rich and I can be successful. And to me, it was so all like eye-opening. I thought, how can I learn all this? How can I use it to move myself forward, to become someone that I want to become? So one of the speakers at the National Achievers Congress was someone called T. Harveka. And I'm not sure if all of you know T. Harveka, but probably most of you do know. He is the best-selling author of the book called Secrets of Millionaire Mind. And he was one of the speakers, and he came on stage and he started talking about how our financial thermostat affects the way we manage our money, and the way that it kind of predicts our financial future. He actually said, give me 2 minutes and I will predict your financial future. So listening to all these, I just couldn't wait to go to the seminar. And when I came to, but the thing is, when I signed up, I remember that when I ran to the back of the tables, I signed up, I filled in the form, and when a couple of days later, I received this phone call from Success Resources, the company that I'm working in now. And they said, hey, is this a sales to I said, yeah. And they said, well, you know what, your card got declined. And I did not have any money in my account then. And I remember actually my husband, my ex-husband, stopping me and saying, I said, why are you running to sign up to this seminar? You don't have any money, And I said, well, that's exactly why I want to do it. I don't have money, and I'm going to raise money. I'm going to find money. It was about 297 pounds. So, and a couple of days later, they called me and they say, is this a sale? Yes, it is. And they say, you know what, your card got declined, and you cannot attend a seminar. And I remember I was so frustrated. I was angry, and I said, you know what? I asked them, I said, listen, it's just my bank issued. If you could give me just 3 days, I'm gonna and charge my card again, it's gonna be all fine. They said, okay, yeah, sure, we'll give you 3 days. So I put the phone down and I thought, what am I gonna do? And when you really want something, and you will definitely find a way to make it happen. So I just, when you really need something in life, it's like you become really resourceful. All these resources, all those options, they just start coming up. Once you start kind of asking yourself, what are the ways? What can I do to raise the money? Or where can I find what I need? Who can help me? And when you start asking all these questions, you just start coming up with an answers. So I went through my mobile phone book and I started calling all my friends. You know, Rachel, give me £10, and Ida, give me £15, and Elvira, give me £20. So I was raising money, asking my friends for little amounts, and I was like, I will pay you back, guys. Just lend me some money. And ta-da! In 3 days, I had all the money in my account. So that's how I came and attended Millennium Mind Intensive in London. So, but what happened is that was an extremely life-changing event for me. And that's probably the reason why I can talk about it any day, any time, because this is something that was a turning point in my financial life. Because when I came to Millionaire Mind Intensive, I sat there for 3 days and literally my brain exploded because I found an answer to the question. And my question always was, why am I always broke? Why can't I make any money? And T. Harvard came on stage and he started talking about our financial thermostat. And he said, you know what? It's like right now I can tell you guys you're here on the webinar, and obviously the reason you are here because you want your financial future to be different from what it is now. And the reason you are here is because you really want to create something, whether it's a wealth, whether it's success, and that's the reason you are here listening to this webinar. And I want to acknowledge you for that and say, congratulations, guys, because you are those ones who are actually making something, looking for the ways to make it happen, and that's why you're here listening to this webinar. So that's how I was as well. I was sitting there and I was listening and learning, and I realized that T. Harv Eker said, you know what, if you want to know what is your financial thermostat is set on, then just simply look into your bank account. And that's what you can do as well. If you look into your bank account, how much money do you have, or how long can you survive without your job? Let's say you lost your job today. Okay? How long can you survive without your job? How long can you live without working? Is it 2 months? Is it 6 months? Is it 5 months? And if you, maybe you can, some of you maybe will say, I can survive only a few days, you know, and that's too bad. That means your financial thermostat is set so low, and you just cannot make any more money apart from what you're making right now. And we are conditioned, and there are many different things that affect on how our thermostat financial is set on and what is it set on. It's like, you know, the reason it is calling it thermostat is because, like, if you look, if you ever had a thermostat in your room, and let's say you set it on 18 degrees, and the room temperature suddenly gets too hot, what does thermostat does? It kind of switches off and let us cool it down until it brings 18. If the temperature drops, however, like to even 17 to 16 or 16, the thermostat kicks in, and then the boiler starts working and it heats up and brings again to 18. So with the money, it's like you are subconsciously, without realizing it, you're kind of making more or less similar amount of money every month. It's like your mindset is set on it. It's like it's very difficult for you to make more than that, and you're not happy to make it less, so you kind of make it more or less the same amount of money. So one of the things that I want to talk about that affects what I've discovered for myself, and I used it a lot, and since then, by the way, after I've attended the Millionaire Mind Intensive, the way I deal with money, the way I manage it, the way I do everything has changed completely. I'm still using the system that I've learned, and it's called Money Jar system, basically. It's the Millionaire Mind Intensive. We teach our participants how to split your accounts into different accounts, like a saving account, the necessity account, the long-term saving account, short-term saving account, the the charity, and the play account. And this way you know exactly how to manage it and how to. This is what rich people do, because the problem that the people who are broke, they don't have that habit of money management. So they get money and they pay their bills and they're done again, and they go back again doing the same thing. So what rich people do, on the other hand, they know how to manage the money, and that's the main thing that you absolutely must learn if you really want to become wealthy. That's the thing that you must learn: money management system. And but what does affect the thermostat, the financial? What does affect? And one of the things that I've discovered for myself is that our beliefs, and beliefs are what are beliefs? Beliefs are things that affect, that are things that we hold to be true. They're not necessarily right or wrong. They're just true for ourselves. It's how do they form? The beliefs, they form out of the situation or small event or experience happened to us in the past, and we interpreted it, translated it and gave it a meaning, or our own meaning, and then we hold it as a truth. So they kind of dictate our behavior and what we do in a certain way. So at this moment I'm talking about the money. So we all have beliefs about money. One of the most common beliefs and problems that broke people have is money is the root of all evil. Money is bad. Rich people are greedy. Rich people are bad. This and that and that. So because they hold this belief, there is no way they can get rich, because money associated and linked to something negative. So if you link, some people have a belief that money brings problems. Sometime in the past something happened. Maybe his or her parents were fighting over money, and she maybe saw lots of tears. Her mom is crying, and her dad, they're fighting because of the money, and she linked money with pain. And what happened is when she linked money to pain, of course she wouldn't have any money, because for her money equals pain. So every time she would get money, she would find a way to spend it, find a way to get rid of it. So by the end of the month, she would go back into being broke. And so beliefs about that we hold about the money, they are crucially important. They're dictating and they're ruling our lives without us even knowing, our financial lives, without us even realizing it at all. So I realized I had some beliefs as well until I came to MMI, and there was a process when we do, it's like during the MMI, during the 3 days, there is a process that the trainer does. It gets you go into the kind of a trance state, and it takes you way back then, when you were still probably from the beginning of where it started taking the root of the problem started, and they replace these limiting beliefs. You basically go through like sort of a hypnosis little session, a process where the trainer helps you to get out the weeds, all those stuff that were holding you back, and replaces with the new beliefs. You do lots of exercises, plenty of exercises that completely gives you this awareness. You kind of realize, wow, that is, now I know what I was doing wrong. And so the beliefs are very important, because the beliefs are also, like I say always, like they also can be limiting beliefs, or they can be supporting beliefs. So you need, in order for you to get rich, you must have lots of supporting beliefs related to the money. And Another one I wanted to talk, what also affects your financial thermostat is your standards for the money, for the lifestyle. What is the standards that you set for yourself? How do you, what is the quality of life that you are willing to accept? What is the quality of the life that you're not willing to settle down for? And it will also have to do, because if you are settled down for the quality of lifestyle, let's say making every month about, I don't know, what's the average in Lithuania, maybe about 800, 1,000 or 2,000 euros a month. I'm not sure, something between that. And this is your standard, and you're quite okay with the way you live and everything, you know. Maybe you go once a month or once a year to the holidays and stuff. And maybe you have average car, average house, and everything. And if you're okay with that, and that's the standard you accepted, then your thermostat will not change as well, because you are not changing your standards. You're not saying, this is great, but I would love to have a higher quality of life. Maybe a bigger house that my kids can play around and run around and have maybe horses at the back and have a swimming pool. I'd like to have this, you know, car, whatever it is, and this is a different, it's a higher quality of life. So obviously, if you have these, if you set your standard higher, and it will start changing, because you will know that something has to be done. So you will start looking for the ways to create more money, more wealth for yourself in order to be able to afford this kind of lifestyle. And but this has to be supported by your self-belief. This is where it comes when I say when people don't achieve their goals, including financial goals, is that they don't have this strong self-belief. I can make it happen. They don't have it. And it's not the fear most of the time that stops people. Yeah, we say the fear stops people from achieving their goals. But for the financial goals, it's not as much as fear, as much as self-belief. If you don't believe you can achieve that goal, then you won't achieve it, that financial goal. The self-belief, you can train it, you know, you can grow it, you can condition your mind every day, you can go, you can learn all the information you needed, because it's like, you know, when I talk about 3 pillars of progress, Tony talks about it, is first, number one, you have to get very clear is what and why, how much amount you want to make, let's say 2015 or 2014, what exact amount you want to make. Then you have to go, second pillar of progress is you have to get the best strategies, best knowledge, best mentor, the best tools. Means find the knowledge on how to create money. How is money being created? Is it online? Is it offline? Is it business? What is it? Properties, etc. So find the best strategies. And number 3, get into the massive action. So you take all the strategies and you put it all in action every day. So what am I doing today to create wealth? What am I actually doing today? Am I making those calls? Am I working on my whatever business plan? Am I doing something? So every day, and so you have higher standards. You have your self-belief link. It's going to help you also to reset your thermostat. So obviously, it's going to change. And one of the biggest enemies of creating the wealth, creating a lot of money, is scarcity. And scarcity, I'm talking about that some people simply don't believe that there is enough money to go about. They think there is a lack of money, which is not true, because there is trillions of money circulating around the world, and it's enough for everyone to be a millionaire. So, and it doesn't mean that you have to become a millionaire. That's not your goal. But if you want to create wealth, then you must really work on those things. You must work on your beliefs that you link to the money. You must work on your self-belief, the one that is, and you must change your standards completely. And you've got to get the best strategies, the best tools, and that is the reason that the Millionaire Mind Intensive. It's, by the way, I have it somewhere. The Millionaire Mind Intensive seminar. I have it in a pack of CDs. So that's the weekend that will change your financial life forever. And talking about this Millionaire Mind Intensive Seminar, it gives you it actually gives you all the tools you need. So you're gonna be ready to just go out there home and start applying it. When I came back first from MMI, I started telling everybody. I used to work as a nanny at that time, and I used to look after kids. So I would come back. I came back from seminar. I would sit down and I would tell all my nanny friends, like, look, guys, you can be rich. You know, you can be wealthy. You can be successful. Let me just share with you these things. And they were like, what? You sound, you're crazy. You know, it's you have all these ambitions, but we just want to be nannies, just get our salary, paycheck, and we're okay. And I would be so passionate about it because I would be just calling my parents and telling them all about how to change beliefs, how to overcome fears, how to raise your standards, how to do all this stuff. I would be just talking about day in, day out. And but most importantly, the new habit of money management that I started. And because it was years ago, because I started that saving account as well, divided into investment account. So I was able to actually start investing in the properties after that and doing different options like lease option and rent options for the property. So that's how I managed, just because of this one seminar that transformed completely my life, and the seminar that will 100% without any doubt will transform your life as well. And I think every single Lithuanian in Vilnius and in Kaunas and all the other cities around, and the little and small cities, should go and attend this seminar, because it's coming to you. It's not even, you don't need to go to London. You just, it's going to be in Vilnius. Just go there, book your place, and attend it. You will be doing so many exercises. It's so full of activities. It's absolutely crazy. It's one of my favorite seminars of all times. And also, you're gonna do something there on there's one of the exercises you're gonna do. I cannot tell you all of it because I will ruin it for you, but something you're gonna do, an exercise that has to do something with breaking through your biggest fear. And my biggest fear used to be back then is fear of failure. I was scared to fail, and that was my biggest fear. So when we've done that exercise, it was very powerful for me and for many other people actually. When we've done the exercise, it was just it was a breakthrough experience when I realized that I have no longer that fear of failure, so I can be free and act free and do free everything. So I just throw myself into the action. So these are the few things that I wanted to share with you, but I would also encourage you to take this chance and ask all the questions that you have related to money. You can just type in the chat right now, and anything like anything related to finances, to money management, or to the MMI seminar, and I'm going to answer all your questions. Donatas, I cannot see the chat, so maybe you can read it out.
Да, есть один вопрос, я вопросы буду задавать по-русски, окей. Айда спрашивает вас, кем вы занималась, ну, какая была, чем вы занималась тогда, когда начался ваш путь к этому financial freedom?
That so basically what I said is just now is that when I started before I came to the MMI, Millionaire Mind Intensive Seminar, I was working as a nanny, but before that I was working as a dishwasher. So I was going all through, but I always had these big ambitions, and I always had a very clear goal. I wanted to become rich, and I wanted to create a wealth. I wanted to make a lot of money, and of course I had many reasons for that. Obviously, we don't want money for the sake of money, but we want money for what money can give us. And my biggest why, my biggest motivation was my parents, because growing up when I was a little girl, you know, it was 4 of us in the family, and my parents were both working as working class people in the factory, and they never had this opportunity to go together to a family holiday, or to buy me a bicycle, or buy me expensive doll or expensive dress, and everything. So we didn't have all this. And growing up, one of my biggest dreams was to make a lot of money and be able to have that freedom of choice that money gives you, and to be able to send my parents to the holiday and trip around the Europe, which I've done a couple of years ago. Actually, a year ago, I sent my parents around the Europe trip, and they're like from village people. You know, for them it was a big deal. For me, it was very nice because one of my dreams came true, and I wanted to pay for the university for my sister as well, which also happened. So my journey started back then. You know, I was still a nanny. I was making probably about £800 a month, and I didn't have money. I didn't have much knowledge. So this is how I started. But after the Millionaire Mind Intensive, my life completely changed, because what I did is I started thinking like a rich person. Even though I didn't have money yet, but my mindset completely changed. I've realized how do rich people think. Because if you want to be rich, you have to think like people who are rich thinking. You have to think about how your money can make you more money. You have to learn how to put an investment account, the saving account, the play account. You also have to do charity, you know. Because rich people do that at 10%. You have to do that as well. So it teaches you everything, and it gives you these best tools when you really like, if you right now you don't really know what direction to take, how to do, where to start, then this gives you, it's a best platform. It gives you all the tools, instruments, knowledge, and you start thinking like a rich people thinking. So that's after that I've started, like I said, putting some money in 10%. I started very little. I think at that point I started managing my money into different accounts, something like £50, £20, £10 in each account. And that's how little I was making. But as I started progressing, as my mindset switched completely, my financial thermostat was reset higher, my standard changed, my everything has changed. So I started slowly picking up and building for myself, creating wealth. You know? Yes. Thank you for the question, by the way. It's a good question. Is there any other questions?
Спасибо за ответ. Больше вопросов нет на чате. Jeigu dar kas nors norite užduoti klausimus, užduokite dar.
You can also...
Здесь я по-русски хорошо скажу, но там человек написал мне на чат и по-английски, и по-литовски, так спрашивает, так с гумором. Он спрашивает, so what the fox say? So what the fox say? Я могу вам на чат процитировать, окей?
So what does the fox say?
Ага.
So what does the fox say? What does it mean?
Это с гумором спрашивает человек.
So Lithuanians have also like an English kind of humor, but you see, I'm not English, so I don't get an English humor. But on a serious note, is if you don't do anything different, if you keep doing things that you've been always doing, you will always obviously get the same results every day. So if you've been struggling financially And if you're not happy with your finances, if you're not happy with the way you have to count every penny, sit down at home and you cannot even afford, you know, your kids a good proper holiday with your wife or whatever, you cannot afford to treat yourself, you know, to pamper yourself, to a good day out or anything. You're not able to have a freedom of choice, to be able to buy what you want or do what you want in life, you know. If you don't have this, oh, that means you're doing something wrong. That means there is something that you don't know yet. But there is a hope, of course. You can learn it, you know, you can learn it. Because if you're sitting there thinking, oh, well, it's not for me, rich is not for me, and I don't think I can do it. Of course you cannot do it. But if you say to yourself, okay, I don't know how to do it yet, I'm not rich, I'm tired of struggle, but I'm willing to go after it and learn it. I'm going to take my time, put some effort, invest a little money into whatever it is, seminar, program, mentor, coach, whatever it is, and learn it and start creating it for myself, start happening, you know. Because like Jiharveka says, I've been rich and I've been poor. Same for me, I've been rich and I've been poor, but trust me, rich is good, rich is better, because you know, when you're struggling yourself financially, you cannot even help yourself, leave alone everyone else, leave alone donating, doing charity or anything else. You cannot even help your own self, your own soul. But when you're rich, you can help not only yourself and people around you, your family, but also you can help start donating and helping people on a bigger scale. You know, you can start making a difference. And that's the good thing about the money, because it gives you freedom of choice and it gives you this ability to contribute. You know, one of our human needs, that to be happy for us, we have one of the primary human needs is the contribution. So as a human nature, if we are not contributing, we're not 100% fulfilled. And that's the art of achievement, the science of achievement. Is that science of achievement is what? It's the contribution, the fulfillment, you know. And if you're not contributing, you're not completely fulfilled. And what kind of life you can live without any fulfillment? So if you still have to work hard, you might as well get rich. If you still must work hard and put all your time and effort and everything, you might as well get rich, you know, and do everything what it takes to make it happen for yourself. I mean, stop sitting counting pennies. Stop depending on somebody. Stop depending on paychecks. Stop depending, never having any choices. So once you get sick and tired of that position you're in, you're gonna start wanting to make a change. The reason you are here as well on this webinar, because you want to change. There is some kind of desire, passion in you that is looking for something better, looking for something more. And it's normal, it's good for human being to strive for more, to try to achieve more and do more, you know. And this is my advice to you as well. Make it happen for yourself. And this is a great opportunity, you know, it's a great opportunity, and you don't want to miss it, because you're going to be thanking me later that, you know, I encouraged you actually to take this opportunity and go. Yes, is there any other questions you want to ask?
Вот еще один вопрос, очень, он, ну, такой, я думаю, всем он понравится. Вот, когда вы достигали своих целей финансовых, вас поддерживали близкие люди или не всегда?
It's a very good question, because I have to be honest with you. And when I came to London 10 years ago, and I was completely broke, you know, I didn't have a penny in my account, and I couldn't pay my telephone bill or my rent. There was no gas, hot water, there was no electricity in the house. And the reason I wasn't hungry is because I was working in a restaurant, cafe, so I would eat there, basically. That's how I survived. But I was so ashamed, and I was so embarrassed to tell my parents that I'm going through this very bad financial struggle, because my parents, I mean, saved all their lives to be able to send me to university back in Kyrgyzstan, you know. And when I finished university, I came to London and started doing the dishes, becoming a dishwasher. So I was very embarrassed to tell to anybody. And I was so determined to make it happen by myself. So I never ever asked for any support. And I knew, in fact, that they needed my financial support even more than I needed it. So my parents, they never even knew that I had these problems. I would make money, like little money, and I would save a little penny, £10 a month, and I would send it to my mom. Because I knew they would need it more, because they needed to buy this, hay for the animals, for the cows and the horses and stuff. Because they live in a village, and also I was very, but that made me even more determined to succeed. That made me even more determined to make myself successful, create enough money that I'll be able to cover everything, all the expenses, and be able to give them the freedom of choice, do what they want. When I bought my dad this cool car, and when they went to this very cool holiday around the Europe, and they like in a village, my dad is like the coolest guy in a village, driving this fancy car and stuff. It gives me that sense of fulfillment, because I'm thinking to myself, I made it, I found the way and I made it. So that's what I'm saying to you, like, if you must work hard anyway, you might as well get rich, There are many things that affect it. You might be conditioned from your childhood that you might not have that self-belief. You might need just a little extra push. You might need a little extra support, but you can get it, You can get it if you look for it and if you take the opportunity, because opportunity is everything. When I had an opportunity, I just grabbed on it, because I knew that I'm going to use all the tools that life is sending me. I knew that I'm not going to waste any opportunity or any chance that I would receive. And that's the reason I was so determined, and that's the reason I'm so successful. I think there are some messages are coming in.
Асял, там я вам прислал месседж, еще вопросы есть. Вы видите?
Окей.
Это на английском вопросы.
Can I see it? Okay. Is there anything I can do to get rich without going to seminar? Never mind. Where can I invest my money if I have very little? Okay. Of course, you can do something without going to the seminar, because seminar is just an opportunity for you to take on to get you started, because this is going to give you tools. If you don't want to go to seminar, nobody's going to drag you there. But you must find other ways, find other tools. Whatever tools are available. Is it the books? Is it the videos? Is it the mentor? Maybe perhaps there is someone in Vilnius, in Lithuania, there is someone, maybe rich people that can mentor you as well, share the knowledge, You've got to look for it. It's not like you're going to sit down and someone is going to bring it to you and say, here we go, please take it, You've got to search for it. You've got to get out of it, That's an attitude of a winner, of go-getter, of an achiever. I've never seen any rich person who was laying down on their back on a sofa, spitting to the roof and saying, let's wait. Maybe some miracles can happen to me. No, it doesn't happen. All rich people, successful people, they went out there, they get off their ass and did something. Whatever it is. Like I'm saying, if you need to take action. If you don't know what actions to take, go first and get the best strategies, best tools, and implement that, and you will get rich. What would be the first practical step in order to begin this path of financial freedom? Good question. Splitting the accounts or something else? Splitting the accounts, something else. Okay, good question. So, what would be the first step, practical step, in order to begin this path of financial freedom? Okay, first step is you do need to manage your money. You cannot just take the money and then cover your expenses and spend the rest. If you're spending your money just like that, without knowing how much you're spending and what for, then you are not managing your money well. Number one thing is, of course, you've got to work on your belief, because the reason you don't have money, and a lot of money right now, is because it's here. That means you have some beliefs that are installed in you and they're running the program. And the program is running there right now. It's not a money-making program. It's the It's the money losing program, you know. So you need to install new software. You need to change your beliefs and first step, start managing your money. It means you need to start not just spending money. It's what is 10% on investment. It might seem very little. It might seem tiny, but the most important is the habit that it creates to you. You know. You put on, this is my investment, this is my long-term saving account, let's say, this is my necessity account, where I spend on food, clothes, and travel, etc. And work on this, you know, the beliefs, because the software is running is really is something that is holding us back from that. Yes.
No more question.
Okay. Guys, so we already 50 minutes. So if you don't have any questions at all, that one thing that I want to say is that think about your life right now. The years will surely will pass by, and don't just settle what you have unless you're very happy and you think, you know what, I'm okay where I am now. I don't want anything else. Then that's fine if you just want to live your life for yourself. But if you really want to have that deep fulfillment, when you have a freedom of choice, when you have an ability to contribute to other people's lives, when you have this, you know, excitement because you're doing what you love rather than to do it just because of the money, for the paycheck, then you've got to take the first step. You've got to start doing something every single day. You've got to start using the opportunities. You've got to start running and doing and changing and taking the steps, necessary steps to create that financial freedom for yourself as well. Yes, Gerovės. Is there any other questions?
Нет, больше вопросов нет, no more question.
Okay, so if you don't have any more questions, then, by the way, I forgot to announce to you this very important thing is that if you decide to sign up for Millionaire Mind Intensive Seminar today and come to attend the whole training for 3 days, we Donatas agreed to do a very, very special offer to those people who are today at the webinar. So you're gonna buy a ticket and you're gonna receive the second ticket absolutely for free. He already stopped doing that offer, but we discussed with him today, and he said, I'm gonna do it for the webinar attendees only and only till 12 midnight today. So you will get that special offer. You're welcome to buy any other day, tomorrow, the day after tomorrow, but you won't get that special promo that he's giving you today. So you're gonna buy one ticket and get one free. That means you will be able to bring your brother, your parent, your sister, your partner, your best friend, your husband, your wife, absolutely for free. And especially when you're learning this very crucial, very essential, life-changing financial kind of skills, financial blueprint. It's going to change your financial blueprint completely. It's going to transform it. So you better learn it with someone who you're going to share the journey with. Because if you don't bring your wife or your husband and you go to attend seminar yourself, then you come back home and you have all this completely transformed mindset. You look at the money differently, you manage it differently, and your partner is completely out of the zone. They don't understand what's going on, why. So they might even, not intentionally, but they might hold you back from going where you want to be. But instead, bring them in along for free. Bring your partner, bring your spouse for free, and this way you both can learn, and you both sit down after the event and you plan your money. You say, you know what, darling, this is it. This is how we've been doing the things, but that's not how it's going to be anymore. We're going to do things differently. Your mindset will be different. You're going to plan differently. You're going to manage it differently. You're going to start investing your money. Even that little money you have, you're going to start investing, managing it, and growing your wealth. This way you can teach your kids later on as well. Because, you know, children, I wish my parents knew all this so they can teach me. Unfortunately, I had to learn everything myself. I had to go and get the knowledge myself. So if you learn this, imagine how much you can teach your children, how much you can change their financial future as well right now. You don't have to wait for so long. You can transform their financial future as well. So it's fantastic event, and I'm telling you, my advice: go and bring your spouse with you. So today is the offer until 12 p.m. Midnight, 12 a.m. midnight, and after that the offer will not be available, unfortunately. And if you must make the little small investment for yourself, make it a millionaire mind intensive, and you're gonna love it. You're gonna not only love it, it's gonna transform your life completely. So with this, I wish you all the best. I wish you best success in life, financially, and in your personal life as well. And thank you for coming here today, and looking forward to see you. Bye bye.
Спасибо вам, Асел, за прекрасный вебинар. Люди на чате тоже благодарят вам, пожелают всего лучшего. Спасибо вам за ваше время, которое вы посвятила нам. Так, до встречи. Ačiū, Asel. Ačiū Jums visiems buvusiems. Tai visiems linkiu sėkmės ir su kai kuriais mes žinoma.
Sėkmės, I know this word. Sėkmės is success. So yes. Ačiū and success. Sėkmės.
Ačiū Aseliai. Tai iki susimatymo seminare Milijonieriaus mąstymas. Iki.